Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hello, everybody.
It's your boy Cool Colas here.
And I am the reviewer, aka Miss TJ.
And you are tuning into another episode of TJ Foodies. So, today we got a new food item that we are going to be trying together. And today we're going to be going to Cookies, Creole, and Soul and trying this item. Now, that's not to be confused with Cookies 5-Star Grill. It's a totally different restaurant. So, you know, it's owned by the same person, but they're actually like right next door to each other. Although I will note that I did recently find out that they are actually going to be merging into one building. And this is actually going to be the last week where we're going to be able to get this in that separate building, in the Creole and Soul building versus the 5-Star Grill building. Okay. So today we are going to be collectively trying the Smothered chicken dinner. So sounds really good to me. I'm sure, you know, she's pretty excited herself. And we're going to kind of show you what it looks like. We're going to, you know, taste it and tell you what our reactions are. Because in this video, we're going to be trying the same meal.
Right.
So
we're going to be doing it together. So you'll see us both trying it together this time. So a little bit different than how we traditionally do it.
Right. Well, we're seeing our tailored reactions, you know, because we have different tastes as far as like the things that we like and the things that stick out to us and stuff like that. So this video will be interesting for that reason. Right. But anyway, stay tuned. We're going to go get the food and then we're going to come back and we'll get back at y'all.
All right.
All right. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Cool Colas here. And so I just want to tell you all really quick, I got the meal from Cookies, Creole, and Soul. What I have here is a Smothered chicken dinner. So if you take a look here, I have a couple different things. Got 3 wings over here. You got some rice. You know, you got some green onions right here. And it looks like there might actually be some actual onions. Yep, there's an onion right there. Onions as well in the meal. Of course, you would say, But anyway, so this is what the meal looks like right now. You got some gravy on top of it too. And, you know, what it's going to happen is the reviewer and I are actually going to be trying this meal together. And we're going to give our just feedback on what we think about it. So this is a meal that we bought yesterday and we're going to be just trying today. But I wanted to just let you all know that, you know, a couple minutes we're going to come back and we're going to tell you our honest feedback on what we think. So, yeah.
All right. So we are back and we're going to try the Smothered chicken. Now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm a little hesitant because I see some onions and y'all know I don't rock with onions.
Do they know?
I'm pretty sure I've expressed the fact that I don't like onions.
I guess that's true. You did just say that in the, you know, other part.
I've said that before. I
guess that's true.
So, all right. I got a little saucer here, so I'm gonna try.
You got your extra napkins too.
Yes, I always have my extra napkins.
Y'all, like, she will literally grab about like 100 napkins.
It's not 100. He's being dramatic.
Every single time.
No, it's not.
And then use 1 or 2.
You never know when you're going to need a napkin. Like, and then when I don't have, he be like, "You ain't got no napkins in the car." That's him. You ain't got no napkins in the car.
Is that how I sound?
Yeah, that's how you sound. All right.
So exaggerated and dramatic.
No. Okay, so let's see.
Let me
I'm gonna try some of the rice.
You wanna go first?
We can go at the same time.
Okay. All right.
I just see a little. You know me. I'm picking because I see some onions.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Let's try some of the chicken.
Let me try some of the chicken as well.
Let me try that.
I'll try this little wing right here.
I'm
trying to cut it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I got mine a little.
Okay, get a little rice.
Some rice. Okay.
The chicken is really good.
The chicken is really good. I would actually say the rice needs a little salt, in my opinion. A little bit. Like, it's either the rice or the gravy. I'm still trying to figure out which one. One of them needs salt. Everything else is pretty good to me.
Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I don't get no onions.
I'm going to mix it in. Let me mix in the gravy a little bit here.
I'm gonna get a little bit of... Dang, y'all, I'm struggling.
Yeah, let me help you.
Your girl is struggling. Okay.
Let me hold it down for you.
I'm sure.
Get your piece of chicken.
I wasn't trying to do that, but...
Oh,
I see a piece of onion. Y'all know how I feel about onion.
Let me get a bite of this mixed together gravy. So what you thinking?
I think it's pretty good. There's a lot of onions though. Mm-hmm. I haven't tasted any onions yet, but I can see them. Y'all know how I feel about it if I see the onion. So I'm seeing it, so I'm picking through, you know. But I mean, I think it's pretty good. Actually, I keep trying to grab the chicken with it. So I mean, let me try to see if I just have the rice. Let's see how that is.
Based on the bite that I took, like, it's definitely good. I like the gravy. It's peppered really well, but something needs salt, and I think it's the rice. I think. Everything else is great. The chicken goes with it really well, though.
I would agree. I think the rice does need a little bit more salt, but I think they probably didn't want to overdo that because of the fact that the gravy has, like, you know, that pepper and stuff like that, and I can taste pepper and some salt in the gravy, so they probably figure, okay, we gonna, you know, not really put no salt really on the rice. You know, sometimes when you go to like a Chinese restaurant, they don't really put salt on their rice. Mm-hmm. So maybe they were going for that type of feel. Mm-hmm. And since they're putting a gravy on it, they're like, okay, well, you know, because that's going to have like more of that flavor, that's probably why they didn't really put that much salt in it.
Sure.
That's what I'm assuming.
That might be true, but here's my objection to that. In a lot of Chinese restaurants, the reason why that's not an issue, though, is because soy sauce itself has a lot of salt in it.
I guess that's true.
There's not really a big need for an overabundance
of salt
and sodium, and it's like really not that good for you. I mean, none of this stuff is, right? But what I was gonna say is that might be why that's not an issue with like Chinese restaurants. Just kind of give it a little insight.
Yeah, I'm just saying maybe they were going for that type of thing, and maybe they didn't put that much because they had like a gravy that was going on top of it.
Sure. The gravy is good though.
Yeah, it is good.
I like the gravy. I think it's not the gravy that's not salted because I can taste it on the gravy.
Definitely
it's the rice.
It's definitely the rice that needs a little bit more salt. Mm-hmm. In my opinion,
the chicken is really good with it though.
It goes really well together.
I do like the chicken. I like the chives. I'm an onion lover. I could eat onions all day personally. She don't like onions, but I could eat them all day. So I'm the type, like, I'll fry up some onion rings and just eat that as a meal. You know? Like, by the way, y'all, just a real, like, life hack. This is what I call a life hack. Okay? Make you some onion rings or buy you some onion rings. I really don't care what you do with them. I don't really care how you get them. Get you some onion rings and get marinara sauce and dip it. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Like, for all you onion lovers, it will change your life. I'm telling you. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Anyway. Yeah. So going back to what I was saying, rice needs a little more salt, in my opinion. Like, it's not terrible, but it does need a little more salt. It's cooked fine though. Mm-hmm. The gravy is great. It's peppered nicely, and I like the taste of it. Mm-hmm. And you know, like the reviewer here, my wife was saying, I definitely understand that idea of not wanting to put too much and to overpower it. So that's understandable, but it definitely needs some salt. The chives are good. The onions are good. The chicken is great. The chicken might be my favorite part. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the rice definitely does need a little bit more salt. But I feel like I said, they were trying to probably like just put it on the gravy. They didn't probably want to overdo it too much because the gravy does have a lot of flavor, and then with the chicken as well. So I'm thinking that's probably why they didn't have a lot of salt in there. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're thinking right now. So we'll come back to you in a little bit with our final review.
Sure. See you in a little bit.
All right. Hey, so we are back. We just got done I'm finishing up the smothered chicken. And now we're going to kind of give our review on kind of what we thought. So, did you want to go first?
Yeah. So, after eating the smothered chicken dinner, I got a chance to really kind of look into, everything with the meal, what I thought about, the different parts of it, because I have different feelings on the different things that I ate. So in this meal, again, it was rice, it was gravy, there were onions, there were green onions or chives, whatever you want to call them. And then there was, of course, the chicken that was sopped in and smothered in the gravy. So I want to say that me as an onion lover, I love the onions. I thought that they were, translucent enough that they were good, but not like slick enough where they basically are useless. So I love the onions, and the onion did provide like an oniony kind of like flavor, which I did appreciate. It wasn't over the top, but it was great. The chives are great. I mean, chives don't have really a strong taste in my opinion, but like overall, it was still pretty good. The gravy was good. It was nicely peppered, and I actually, after eating it, could tell that it had like seasoning in it. So the gravy definitely was not the issue there. The chicken was marvelous. As a matter of fact, after eating the little piece of chicken that the reviewer had, I realized that eating that in comparison to eating the chicken that I had today, there's a big difference in taste. And I thought that the chicken that we had in the smothered chicken dinner tasted better. It was more flavorful in my opinion, and I think if I had to really be honest, I think it was the breading. I think the breading sopped up that gravy, and then I think that it added more flavor even to everything that you were eating, because when you had like the breading and then the gravy and then the rice together, it was just all like really good in, conjunction with each other. So that brings me to the part I ain't like too much. I did not care for the rice. The rice was cooked fine, so don't get me wrong there, but it didn't have any seasoning to me at all. The rice was pretty bland overall, and I think what made that such a big issue there was that there was so much rice, and there was so much rice compared to like the gravy and the chives and the onions, and I mean really even the chicken to some extent, because there were 3 wings for the chicken, but because like there was so much of it, I expected more flavor because of that, or at least seasoning in the rice itself. So everything was pretty good except the rice. The rice wasn't my favorite because I think it needed salt. Now I think that if you put salt in it, then yeah, there's not really too many complaints about that meal. But other than that, that's what I would say. I'm not going to say anything different about customer service, because the customer service was the same for the other cookies Creole and Soul review that I did, which was about a 3.5, I think is what I said, 3.5, 4, somewhere around there for like that type of service. So I'm gonna stick with that as far as like what my final review was for that. But as far as the meal itself, if I had to rank it on my scale, I'd probably say it was high B tier. Okay. And the reason why I'm going to give it high B tier is because the only thing that stopped it from being into A tier and maybe even S was the amount and salt or lack thereof in the rice. Okay. Had that not been an issue, it would have been much higher. Everything else was great. Like the gravy was peppered nicely, and it was tasty. I love the chicken. The chicken might have been my favorite part, actually. I love the chicken. Onions were cool. The chives were cool. It was a nice hefty amount, so I was cool with that. So we're going to go a high B tier, only lowered by the rice. But if you put salt in the rice, like I said, it'll be much higher. So that's my review. What you think, baby?
Well, let's see. I do agree with you as far as like the gravy. I think it was peppered very well. It did have a lot of flavoring to it, and even with the chicken, I think it went well with the gravy. I think it made the chicken even taste even better. I liked how it was in there. I like how it kind of sopped into the chicken and whatnot. So I do like that. I will agree with you on the rice. I would kind of want a little bit more salt with the rice. Because I felt like it needed just a little bit more salt with that. Another thing for me was the onions. It was a lot of onions. So I felt like I was picking around quite a bit, trying to like get the onion out, because y'all know I don't do onions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like the chives. The chives, the difference between like the chives and the onions for me, I feel like the chives are kind of like, I don't really taste it like that. But with the onions, like, it's more of a, like,
pungent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the reason why I don't really care for onions like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe if they were like cut up more where I couldn't see them or taste them, I probably wouldn't even have complained. But the fact that I saw so many of them and I literally had to keep picking it, away, and majority of that, like, I pretty much gave to my husband, because I'm like, so I was pretty much eating like a good chunk of the chicken and like a little bit of the rice when it didn't have an onion or whatever, and then like the gravy. But I felt like that to me kind of took away from me trying to eat the meal and enjoy the meal, because it was onions. And if I would have known that it was onions in the meal, I probably would not have gotten it. Mm-hmm. That's just me personally, because I just don't care for onions. Mm-hmm. So because of that, and because of the onions, and because of like the rice, I'm wanting a little bit more seasoning with that. I would say for my rating, it will be like a 7.5 for my rating personally. Because again, the onions, it was a lot. And he likes onions, so that was right up his alley. But for me, I was like, I didn't know that. And even like in the description, like it said, like it was like in their sauce. Maybe that's how they make their sauces, like with the onions. But I just wish I would have known that ahead of time. You said
it wasn't in their sauce. 'Cause I thought it said it didn't say anything about them.
No, it didn't say. No, I'm saying, like I said, maybe in the sauce that they have, onions traditionally come in the sauce. I don't know.
Okay.
But it did not say that on the menu.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't. All it said was that it was green onions. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe in their sauce, like their little Creole sauce, I think that's what it's called or whatever. Maybe it comes like with onions, but it didn't say that. So if it would have said like, what it like kind of came with like onions or whatever in there, I would have been like, nope, get something else. Mm-hmm. But it didn't say that on the menu.
Yeah, I don't think it's even Creole though. I think it's just a regular gravy, and maybe they just put it in there because
so maybe it's like a gravy that they have.
Because that was just a soul food dinner. Because they have two parts of their menus. They have the Creole part, and then they have like the soul food part. Okay. But I get what you're saying though, because you're right about the fact that it did not say that there would be regular onions in it. It didn't say that. You're right.
It said it would be green onions, which I could deal with green onions. That don't bother me. But like, between like it was either like a white onion or it was like the sweet onions. I don't know which one it was, but if I would have known that it was in there, I would not have gotten that dish. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I'm at like with it, and that's why I said maybe it was a part of their like gravy, and that's like an ingredient that they have, but I just wish that it would have said that on the menu, because I would have never gotten that if that was the case.
Sure.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my rating, and yeah.
So with that said, what would you say is the overall, given what you felt, based on, obviously can't really talk about customer service because I dealt with that. Right. Based on your meal, and then in conjunction with like everything, what would you give it out of 5? If you're just counting this meal.
I'd say probably a 3.5.
3.5? Yeah. I'm probably going to give it a 4 overall for me, for this portion. And the reason why I'm going to give it a 4 is because overall I thought it was a really good meal. I could understand why you say 3.5, and I wouldn't argue with you about it. But I would say like 3.5 is a solid rating, but 4 is the rating that I would want, because I thought it was a good meal. I thought that without the rice, it would have been pretty much perfect. Without the rice issue, I guess is what I'm getting at. So I'll go ahead and say 4 overall.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Well then, so that's kind of our review for the smothered chicken. We hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure that you subscribe.
Hit that button, like, comment, share.
All of that. And thank you all for joining us, and have a good day.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Peace.